Alright, welcome everybody back to the channel if you've been here before. Welcome in if it's your first time here. I'm It's Baby Jesus, and today we're going to be going through one of, in my opinion, the best health regent or Lifebloom, LifeJewel routes in the game right now. So I'm going to show you where to find them, the route to do. It takes roughly 5 to 7 minutes depending how many nodes are out there. And in about a 35 to a 40 minute span of when I do the routes, I can get anywhere between enough mats to make 50 to 60 common health potions, maybe 15 to 20 strongs, and some other regions. You'll find anything from tier 2, 3, 4, depending on how good your skills at cultivating are. And you'll also find a bunch of stuff for other crafting, such as soul sprouts, soul spines, earth crags, earth spines, you'll name it. And I'll cover all of those in this here. So the first thing you're going to want to do for this route is you're going to want to fast travel to the Arcana gate, which is just here in Monarch's Bluff, depending where you guys have started. I play on the Nepenthe server, but regardless, as long as you start at this fast travel point, it's going to be your start and end location for the route itself. So what you're going to do, you're going to start at the fast travel point, you're going to be right here, and you're going to go due north-northwest. And your first spot that you're going to be looting is up on this hill here, and what you guys saw up there is a warm plate cap spawn. So it's a double warm plate cap spawn location. So you're just going to run up here. You're going to see the double spawn point. Thankfully they are here, so I can actually show you them. And these are going to give you regents for common health pots, and depending what else you get, you can also make some strong ones as well. Now, you'll see down here, there's actually a soul sprout. You're going to want that as well. Again, if you're making Arcana in any way, shape, or form, or leveling it up, you're going to want to gather as many of these as possible. Plus, it's some easy XP. So, your next part, after you gather all of these, you're going to go northwest to about 330, and you're going to see your first soul spine, which is right here. Unfortunately, it is not spawned right now. And you're going to always want to double check on the second side of this little altar here, because there is a second one right there. Now, once you're done here, you're going to go due southwest to the bottom part of this massive cliff here. So this is going to be your first actual Lifebloom spawn here at the bottom of the hill. And you're always going to want to double check at the top here, because as you guys can see, there is a LifeJewel spawn up there as well. So you're just going to run up here. You want to get as much as you can, because you can use it for all your different crafting, as well as just to level yourself up. So we're going to get these Lifejewels. Now we're just going to hop down, and we're going to go grab those Lifeblooms. Now, what's really nice about this route, or this run, is it doesn't matter what level you are, really, as long as you have that fast travel, because you can do the entire thing without pulling any aggro from any of the mobs. So you can make it by the lynxes, you can make it by all the skeletons, if you take the right path. So we're going to gather these two Lifeblooms. Now, if you do look over here, southeast, there's a triple spawn of soul sprouts, and you can go gather those if you so please to as well. We're not going to for the sake of this right now, just to show you guys the actual healing route, if you will. So if you stay to the bottom of this hill, we're going to avoid all the lynxes, and we're going to come up on our second spawn of Lifeblooms. Unfortunately, they aren't here right now, but you guys can see this is the first and the second spawn points right here. So once you gather these, you're going to come over towards this little cliff, and you're going to want to go around on the right-hand side. Now, it's very important that you do, because if you go left, you could very well miss this double spawn of Lifebloom as well. You guys can see it's sort of tucked around the corner of the cliff. Now, we're going to gather these. And what's sort of nice is if you guys do have your settings set on a bit lower settings, like my PC is, you will actually be able to see spawns of gatherable resources before any of the foliage actually spawns in. So, it doesn't seem like they're there right now, but typically, on the other side, right where my cursor is pointing right now, there is another double spawn of those warm plate caps, which are going to be really good for crafting your common health potions mostly. So I'll show you where they do spawn, but it doesn't seem like they are there, because you would see the bright orange off in the distance. And what's nice about them is you can always see the bottom of the stems. Now, there is also another soul stone, or soul spire, I think they're called, pardon me, over here, and we're just going to go gather that really quickly. Now, you don't have to, and you always do run the risk of actually pulling the aggro of all these enforcers that are nearby, but if you can get it at the right timing based on their walking patterns, you can actually get in and out without pulling any aggro whatsoever. So after you get those plate caps, you're going to want to double back and go around the cliff here, because this is going to be your next spawn of LifeJewel, as well as your next spot for Lifebloom. So you see we have a double spawn of Lifebloom and a single LifeJewel here, so we're going to go and gather each and every single one of them here. And then we will move on to our next node of gathering. Now, if you guys do have high enough mining, there is Orichalcum that does spawn over here. And I'm probably butchering that name, but it's as I remembered in my head. And, yeah. So you can spawn, it does spawn there, and it does spawn on a relatively fast respawn timer. Now, what's nice is when you're on this Lifebloom here, you guys can actually see the next route that you're going to want to take. You guys can see it up on that hill. You can see that earth crag, the bright green like a beacon. So that's going to be your next spot. So you're just going to run up the hill going 150 on the compass southeast and go up. There's a double spawn of Earth Crag up here. And what's nice is just at the bottom of this hill, after the cliff, there's another double spawn of Lifebloom. We'll see if we can find it. You guys can see it off in the distance there behind the cliff. So we're just going to grab these Earth Crags really quick here, move on, get both of those, and we're going to move over to those Lifeblooms. Now, but before we do that, you guys will see on the right-hand side here where my cursor is looking, there is another spawn of LifeJewel. So you always want to make sure to get that as well. You can always just check to see if it's spawned before wasting your time and running over. So we are going to gather these Lifeblooms and keep going. Now, this part of the route does sort of vary off into other gathering. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's, a bunch of Dragon Glory, a bunch of Earth Spines. But again, we're here, so it makes sense to just gather everything. Now, you guys can see I did start with, I think, 20 Lifebloom stems, and we're already at 47. So you, depending on, again, your gathering and your luck and whatnot, you can rack up the materials very, very fast. So now you're going to go northeast, do 30, give or take, on the compass, and you guys can see it off in the distance there. There's a triple spawn of Dragon Glory. Now, what's nice about Dragon Glory is, again, you can refine all the materials just to improve your Arcana, if that's what you're going for. Arcana, depending on how you pronounce it. But regardless, you want to get up your harvesting skill as fast as you can so that you can make sure you get all the materials. So we're going to go gather this triple spawn here. There's 2. And there's your 3rd. Now, right behind this bush, it doesn't seem like they're there. I would have noticed them off in the distance. But behind this bush is another double spawn of Earth Spine. If they are there, oh, you can see one of them. Unfortunately, there isn't the second one, but that's okay. So you want to make your way over here, grab the Earth Spine, and move on with it. So after this, what we're going to do is you're going to look at this mountain here, and you're going to want to stick to the left-hand side of it. If you go around the right, you run the risk of missing the next node spawn points. So if you go to the left-hand side, you're just going to hug the cliff, and you'll see right there, there's a spawn point for a Scorch Stone. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's there at this moment, and none of them actually are. But there's a Scorch Stone there, and there's another double spawn of Dragon Glory. So that would be your next spot. Once you get that, you're going to want to go 60 northeast, and there's another double spawn of Warm Plate Caps. You can see them right here. And obviously, the last node of this run, the last Lifebloom right here. Now you're going to gather that, and if you'll notice, right behind this pillar here is our actual starting location. You guys can see the fast travel altar is right there. So the loop is done. You guys probably noticed as well, there's a bunch of hemp that you can gather, a bunch of berries. If you guys want to gather everything, by all means do so. But that is the route. And if you guys want to run this, like I said, in about 30 to 40 minutes, you guys can easily gather up enough resources to power level your Arcana if you guys want to. Make all the pots for your company. Do whatever you need to do. Once again, guys, that is from the Akranar Gate, and you start off right here. That is everything for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this helped you out. If you did like it, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment if you guys want to see some different some routes, and if I find some good ones, I will make sure to let you guys all know. On that note, thank you guys so much for stopping in. Thank you guys for paying attention. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And happy farming. Ciao.